All right, Ted.
Yeah.
Will we run into one another again?
Yes, sir. In the studio
Yes,
again.
absolutely. And fishing always seems to be the connotation that is involved with our
Yes.
meetings.
Yeah.
Brought you up here basically as a celebration to go over what happened in 2018,
Yep.
but also to discuss what's going to be happening in 2019.
Yes.
But before we go any further, tell us a little bit about what Angling for Life represents.
Yeah. Love the question. It goes right to the core of who we are, and this is in conjunction with CFN. But Angling for Life is about finding or going after the absolutely most horrific evils on the planet, the biggest injustices. I mean, foundationally speaking, with Feed My Starving Children, it doesn't get any worse than life and death. And then that's compounded by the fact that they're children. I mean, little children that are as young as 4 years of age or even younger. And so we found and vetted the best charity that we think exists on the planet. Maybe in that case, not the biggest, but the very best as far as their financial effectiveness and, of course, the effectiveness of getting food to children to save their lives.
Yeah.
They get, it's like 98% of the food sent gets to the port and distributed.
Wow. And of course, the dollar per donation.
Yeah.
You get the best bang for your buck with Feed
Right.
My Starving
It's
Children.
90 cents on the dollar or more.
Yeah.
It's currently running at 91 or 92 cents, and that's amazing. Very few charities ever make it to that, let alone sustain that pace.
Now, of course, with CFN and Canadian anglers, there's been that stigma that Feed My Starving Children is more of an American initiative than
Right.
Canadian.
Yep.
So I'd like you to discuss this new initiative that's coming up that I really see a need to get involved in.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And just a word about Feed My Starving Children is they are international.
Right.
They go wherever the tragedies are. So Canadians and Americans and anyone from any other nation can get involved with that because it's not an American thing.
Right.
It's a world thing wherever they are.
Right.
But the new one
Yes.
that you're leading into is, I'm just jazzed about it. It's called the International Justice Mission. It is the world's largest anti-slavery organization. And for those who don't know it, there's millions of slaves in the world. Some people think that slavery ended years ago. We have more slaves through sex trafficking and slave labor all around the world. And so they do all different elements of fighting slavery. All the other charities that fight sex trafficking, for instance, and they do fine work and they deserve merit and credit, but they'll only do one aspect, such as prevention or aftercare.
Right.
The IJM does prevention, aftercare. They do. They take people through the legal system and they get convictions. They take down entire sex trafficking rings. They don't just cut the head off so it grows another head.
Yeah.
So they stop. They literally bring to a halt sex trafficking in that area. They turn the whole nation of Cambodia around by putting pressure on the legal systems. And another aspect that's big is they literally send in spies, and they know where the sex trafficking rings are that they haven't reached yet. And we're hoping that our dollars will free them up so that they can get in there and do what they do. And part of that is police raids. IJM staffers are literally involved in the police raids. And it's pretty interesting and really involved with what they do. And we found the office that we're looking for.
Yes.
We have 20 offices all over the world. One of those is in Washington, D.C., and another one is
In our own backyard.
London, Ontario.
Yeah, so-
And they're fully staffed by Canadian staffers. They don't take cues from the American office. They operate as a legally separate entity in Canada. And they were so enthused at what we were doing. I asked them, I said, when the time comes, can we run the dollars through you and set up a link? And they said, absolutely.
So I'm really looking forward to meeting these people and giving them a pat on the back for what they do, because this is a real issue in society and we've got to do something about it for the sake of children. And it's a terrible thing that we have to discuss and get involved in, but it is imperative that we do. And we're hoping to do that through auctioning off charters for next year. So we're looking for people that run their own charter companies to ante up and get involved in this great program going forward that's going to take this filth off the
A
streets.
couple more things. AFL is the only entity that we know of that uses fishing as a vehicle for international causes or local, if it comes to that.
Right.
The operating principle that we have is we find and vet these charities. I mean, we do a lot to make sure that they are at the very top of the world. IJM, there's no charity like it. And then we put them into action and give people, hopefully we developed a relationship with trust as we have with the CFN, so that, we're unbiased. We don't care what the charity is, or that, my uncle likes the charity and volunteers there and says the people are really nice. We vet these charities. We look at the outside evaluating entities such as Charity Navigator that give these two charities wonderful ratings, and they've done it for year after year. The charities have been excellent year after year. 31 or 32 years for Feed My Starving Children, and 20 years for IJM.
Wow. So the most important part now, how do people get involved?
Yeah, you go to our website. That's anglingforlife.org. Check out that. That's for everyone. If you are on Facebook, you can friend request Scotty or myself. Or if you're already on there with us, with one of us or both of us, you can request to be put on in our secret group, Angling for Life, and you'll get information there.
Well, Ted, thanks for doing that.
Yes, sir.
Let's get back to fishing.
Yeah, how about it?
Yeah, baby.